Hello, welcome to today's vlog. We're in the bathroom today, folks. My name is Adam, and I've got to trim this old off thing. So kill two birds with one stone. Although, man, you set it up and it still don't work right. So yeah, I've got to trim my beard basically. On the 13th and 14th of December, I'm going to be the conductor for Polar Express. So all of this is going to have to go and just leave me with a full-on mustache. That's slipping again, isn't it? Oh my God. Right, stay. So yeah, I've got to trim it as the first stage. So I figure, well, I'll just do my vlog whilst I do this. Kill two birds with one stone. I mean, I've got to leave for work in half an hour, so can't spend too long on it. So it'll be a bit of a quick one. But yeah, it's time to neaten this up a bit. It's getting a bit bushy wild. So also, the internet down here isn't that great, so it may cut and stutter, and I'm very sorry about that. But that's the way it is, folks. So yeah, so the title, the reason, like, you know, just talking about Rise of the Skywalker again, right? Because it's like we're 2 weeks away from episode 9. And this is it. This is the end, guys. This is the end of all the Star Wars films. The end of what George Lucas started. The end of what the fans are going to finish. Because obviously, you know, J.J. Abrams is back directing this one. He directed Force Awakens. I thought it was a really good film. And then we had Last Jedi. Not a Star Wars film. But a good story, you know. Kept you guessing, but then J came back, and I think Rise of the Skywalker is going to be a good film. But like, why is it the fans' fault? Well, you know, backtrack. So when George originally, well, I mean, he's always said that he's planned out these like 12 films. First it was 3, then it was 6, then it was 9, then it was 12. So George has had this 12 story vision from the beginning. And if he had kept Star Wars, if he hadn't sold it to Disney, you know, episode 9 would be very different. It would be not what Rise of the Skywalker is becoming. And part of the reason why George sold Disney was because of his age, right? And also the backlash he was getting, you know. Like, everybody who saw the original trilogy in the cinema had a lot of expectation for the prequels when they came about. Now, if you're below a certain age, the prequel trilogy will be your classic original trilogy, and you would have grown up with Jar Jar and think he's great, and you would have grown up with a lot of what was in that prequel trilogy, and that would be like, that's my Star Wars. And you'd be walking into this trilogy with a different viewpoint than those that watched the original trilogy in the cinema first, then watched the prequels. You know, they've got a different perspective on those prequels. And everybody's made it known to George over the years how they thought themselves on it, right? So, you know, George has taken a lot of flack in the past because of those prequels. And at the end of the day, those were the films he wanted to make for Star Wars. So that's that. And that's up to George. George is the creator of Star Wars at the end of the day, no matter how much people don't like that. He created it. It's his story. So, and, you know, his story was a lot different to what we're going to be getting now. What we're getting now is a direct result because George sold it to Disney, because he knew going forward he didn't have the energy or, you know, the drive anymore to do these Star Wars films because of not only the backlash he got from the prequels, but because he's getting old, and it's like it needs a fresh injection. And obviously Disney have given us loads of Star Wars content. I mean, not only did we get The Force Awakens, but then we got Solo, Rogue One, we got more TV series, and now we're getting episodes, you know, 8 and 9, and it's like, and plus we've got the Kenobi series on Netflix, not Netflix, on Disney Plus coming next year. We're getting so much Star Wars because of Disney, and I'm thankful because of that. But at the end of the day, Rise of the Skywalker is a direct result of what the fans did back when episode 1 came out, back when The Phantom Menace came into cinemas. There was so much expectation for it. There was so much hype for it. Everybody was building this thing on a plateau because the original trilogy was that good, that everybody had their own idea of what it would be. And obviously, George had his own vision, and it didn't match what people thought. George was obviously trying to tell a message or a story in a certain way, in a new way as well, using digital technology. But fans, I think, just wanted like the old Star Wars. You know what I mean? I think people wanted it to happen a different way. Anyway, when it didn't happen their way, they started voicing their comments, and it was just at the same time the internet was coming out properly as well. Like the first traces of the internet, I think, pretty much go back to early 2000, and that's when sort of hatred for the prequels came about so viciously, you know. Yeah, that piece and that piece. There we go. And oh my god, man, I've got a Wookiee in my sink now. Bloody hell. So yeah, it's it's the fans. No matter what happens with Rise of the Skywalker, it's because the fans basically, tore it away basically from George. They put so much hatred out there for episode 1 and then episode 2, and I actually think the prequels are really good. I enjoy the prequels. I enjoy them for what they are and what they're trying to achieve at the time. The first full-on proper digital character. I mean, although in 1996 there was already a digital character in Dragonheart, but this one was like one of the he wasn't the first digital character, to be honest. But the film was a proper full-on digital film with the CGI. Sorry, yeah, they were doing techniques there that they hadn't done before. Gotta cut them greys out, man. Don't remember the conductor having grey hair. I'm gonna end up slicing my face off in a minute. So yeah, for me, it's Rise of the Skywalker is proper the fans. It's and JJ made Force Awakens for the fans as well. So I think this is going to be made for the fans, and I think it's going to have a nice, satisfying ending for the fans. For those, because JJ's like Steven Spielberg Jr. He knows how to craft a good story. He knows how to make a good film. I enjoy all of JJ's films, and I have complete faith in JJ. And he's got a lot to he's got Last Jedi to come off from. So you know what I mean. For all of you out there who enjoyed The Last Jedi, that's fine. That's fine, man. Everyone's got their own opinion. I respect everyone's opinion. At the end of the day, I just wish everybody else respected everybody else's opinion as well. But that's the world we live in. Anyway, so I'm almost done here. This whole beard will be coming off soon. I'm gonna have to shave this thing off, completely. Trim the fat right off this beard. Man, I honestly got a massive Wookiee in my sink. Anyway, so yeah, the Rise of the Skywalker, it's because of the fans. If the fans hadn't vocalized themselves, and George felt like, I'll still do the Star Wars films. I'll do 7, 8, and 9 myself. We'd have a very different set of films. We wouldn't have Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of the Skywalker. We'd have a very different film, For the better, for the worse, who knows? Something to think about. But whatever happens, the Rise of the Skywalker fans, it's because of you. And I gotta go now, because I gotta go to work. I gotta hop in the shower. I'm leaving in 10 minutes. And I'll see you tomorrow, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.